Have you ever wondered why people launder money or how they even get it done? The fact is, behind every laundered dollar, there is a victim. There is a life getting destroyed. There is a system getting corrupted. And at the same time, there is a crime that goes beyond the laundered money itself. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining to you what money laundering is, what are the stages and processes involved in money laundering, the effects and consequences of money laundering on us as individuals and on the economy as a whole. But before we get right into it, what if I told you that money laundering is not just about the shady transaction, but also about lives being exploited? But in the real sense, who are the victims of such exploitation? Let us take, for instance, a small business around the street's corner. Customers come in and go, business is moving, business is booming. But there is a twist. The small business owner every day deposits millions of naira into the business account, claiming that they are from sales. Meanwhile, the fact is, the small business only makes some hundreds of thousands per day and sometimes even lesser. Unknown to everyone, this small business owner has been moving money for a small group of criminals who are involved in financial crime, fraud. This small business owner then reinvests this money into other small businesses. This exactly is what money laundering is. In short, money laundering is the concealment of illegally generated funds to appear to have come from a legitimate source. It involves making large amounts of money generated from crimes like fraud, human trafficking, drug trafficking, and other financial crime seem like they have come from a legitimate source. As you can see from the illustration with the small business owner, money laundering involves a step-by-step process where the criminal gets to hide the source of the illegitimate funds and also gets to spend this money without being suspected or questioned. Typically, money laundering involves 3 distinct stages to be successful. Now let us look into the 3 different stages of money laundering. The number 1 stage is called placement. This is where the criminal gets to bring the illegally generated funds into a legitimate business or entity. This stage enables the criminal to place the funds into the economy in a way that is not suspicious. It brings it into a legitimate business. This then leads us to the second stage of money laundering, which I consider to be the strongest hold of the money laundering life cycle. The second stage of money laundering is called layering. In this stage, the criminal breaks the money into bits. For example, he invests this money into legitimate businesses and entities, just as seen in our illustration. These funds then get transferred into different accounts, and at the same time, this stage is considered vital and important because it is where the real confusion about the source of funds comes in. Once this stage is successful, we can consider the whole of the money laundering process successful. This eventually leads us to the third stage of money laundering. After the money has been placed, layered, and distributed into different accounts, the criminal who generated the funds illegally also needs to spend this money. And this leads us to the third stage, which is called integration. At this point, the funds has been placed, it has been layered into different accounts, and now it is time for the laundered money to be reintegrated back into the economy and be spent by the criminal who laundered the money. This is where the money comes back to the criminal, who in turn spent this money, which is considered to have come from a legitimate source. Let me give a recap of the stages involved in money laundering. Number 1, we have placement. Number 2, we have layering. And number 3, we have integration. While we often talk about what money laundering is, the processes and stages involved in money laundering, we rarely talk about the effects and consequences of money laundering. Meanwhile, money laundering is beyond just washing the dirty money or moving illegal money from one account to another. Money laundering has a larger effect on us as individuals and on the economy at large. Money laundering poisons the economy and causes economic instability. It causes inflation by driving market forces, driving prices up and down, and at the same time weakening the currency. Money laundering also leads to corruption, as money launderers bribe top government officials, thereby leading to impunity and also exploitation of financial systems. Also, money laundering is used to fund crimes like fraud, smuggling, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and other crimes, which eventually has a lasting effect on us as individuals and the general public. Now that you know what money laundering is, the stages and processes involved in money laundering, and at the same time, you now understand what the consequences of money laundering are. In our next video, we are going to be digging deeper into the stages and processes involved in money laundering and how criminals cover their tracks when it comes to money laundering. I'm pretty sure you would not want to miss this content. So subscribe to this channel, turn on post notifications so that you get notified whenever we drop this video. Thank you.